I'm ready to get these players started. They are both ready, so let us get them underway in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now, Blue Scuti, you all know of. Do I even have to mention who Blue Scuti is? Blue Scuti, of course, the boy who broke Tetris. First player to reach the game crash screen in the game of NES Tetris, making worldwide headlines. And Rhubarb, known primarily as someone who makes that kind of L misdrop on the left side of the screen. No, I'm just kidding, of course. Rhubarb, a longtime member of the Classic Tetris community, has several appearances here in Classic Tetris Monthly. It has been the winner of a CTM Challengers event in the past, and also was the runner-up of the Kansas City Regional Tournament that was won by Blue Scuti. Blue Scuti was a winner of a Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event, December 2023. And the winner of the most recent Lone Star Championship in Austin, Texas. 101 for Blue Scuti as we get underway. 82,000 for Rhubarb. Rhubarb with a Tetris 129, 147 blues for Blue Scuti. Both players from the United States of America. Maybe you've heard of it. And Vicious Rhubarb earning his way into the Masters event by defeating Dan V in the Challengers circuit last month. It's kind of a second chance tournament where the 17 through 32nd seeds are placed and are, from our qualifying are placed there, and they get to play a tournament, and the winner of that gets granted an entry into the next month's Masters event. So Rhubarb defeating Dan V. Actually, had a pretty tough road, I think, through Challengers last month. Defeated Doodle in round 1. I'm sorry, not Doodle, but not Doodle, I'm sorry. Rhubarb defeated Sodium Overdose. Yeah, that's what, sorry. Sodium Overdose round 1. Cheese in round 2. Timmy Kim in the semis. And then Dan V in the finals. Yeah, I don't know why I said Doodle. I was looking at some other part of the screen. But yeah, went through Sodium, Cheese, Timmy Kim, and Dan V to win Challengers. Like, this is how insane Classic Tetris is in 2024, that these players are in sort of what amounts to the second chance tournament. 310 for Blue Scuti as his board starts to climb, gets a couple of long bars here to bring this down with a Tetris, or two Tetrises. He's at 356. Rhubarb taking a skim. He gets a couple of long bars as well. Fancy that. Dan V in Challengers. Yeah, I mean, it's really just the top 16 that make it into the Masters event, and really, in a way, it's kind of the top 11 or 12, because all the semifinalists and Masters get invited back to the next month. So if you win a bracket, you basically earn your way in to the Masters event the next month. We're actually modifying that rule to make it the finals rule. So really, only the top 2 players will be invited back to Masters, along with the winner of the Challenger circuit. And that will be starting in October. 411 for Rhubarb, 454 for Blue Scuti. I think that should encourage some players to take their qualifiers a little more seriously. So, if you already know you're in, you don't have to. You can sort of, what place do I want to come in? Well, now you have to sort of earn your way in a little bit more. Blue Scuti 481, 440 for Rhubarb. Yeah, someone's saying Dan V in Challengers. Yeah, and Fractal is in Challengers this month. Fractal taking a couple of months off and then finding himself qualifying into Challengers. And you know what? The guy's playing it, you know? I like it. There's a Tetris for Scuti at 122 lines. There's a Tetris for Rhubarb. And we're just a few lines away from the level 19 transition where the speed will increase by 50%. It's like if you're going 50 miles an hour, then all of a sudden you're going 75 miles an hour in the blink of an eye. Scuti with kind of a high board. We're getting a little bit droughted. Get out your trouts as we enter 19. And Scuti's going to transition in at 599. Rhubarb is in at 544. Scuti's going to miss that spin. It's low enough, as a roller that he can dig his way out of this, but nothing guaranteed even on 19 for these players. In our previous bracket, we did have several alarming top outs on level 18 from top tier players. So anything can happen really on any level. And when it comes right down to it, players do have to execute. There's no gimmies. 577 Rhubarb, 638 for Blue Scuti. We're getting a little droughty here as well. And Scuti able to take a couple of burns here, recovers the well. And there's a beautiful L piece to skim that that ceiling off the top for Scuti and get a Tetris. 674 for him. Now Rhubarb's in trouble. And Rhubarb's left side is going to be cut off. Is there anything he can do? No. And Rhubarb is going to top out at 589. So Scuti is good in game number 1. Yeah, Rhubarb knocking out Sodium Overdose last month in Challengers in the first round. So I don't know. I'm sure Sodium is kind of maybe rooting for Rhubarb to win so he can take another shot at him. Scuti up 1-0 over Rhubarb in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Starting off with the L and the S and another L and another L. All right, lots of red pieces to start us off. I've been playing lately and I've been, offline, and I've been trying to say the name of the piece. Like, I recognize that my piece, the name of the piece, the recognition of that is like a little bit off, where I kind of have to think about it. So when I'm playing, I'm actually trying to say the name of the piece out loud. Scuti with a deep channel down the middle of the board, and he's going to get a couple of long bars to downstack that, and he's all the way back down to the bottom. So, trying to say out loud, oh, S, that's an L, that's a J, almost as flashcards. Now, obviously, I don't need to say it for the square or the I piece or the T piece, but it's those L's and J's and S's and Z's. That I just, it's like takes me an extra moment to go, yes, I gotta mentally draw an S or a Z in my head. And you'd think after like basically 7 years of doing this, it would be automatic, but it isn't. I still have to think about it. So try to improve. 121 for Blue Scuti, 142 for Rhubarb. He's going to Tetris, and so will Scuti. So it's about a 1 Tetris lead for Rhubarb. This might be a weird request, but Vandy, I'm trying to explain what rolling is to non-Tetris friends. So is it possible to move the player's videos up a bit? Normally, I would comply with such a request, but I've been having trouble when I'm messing with the player scenes, like what I import into the main screen. And you've noticed a couple of times during broadcasts over the last couple of months where my OBS has crashed. And so I want to touch those scenes as little as possible. So what I would recommend is going to the players, to their Twitch pages, like to their own Twitch sites. Burrito Dad says, Vandy, I'd like to see what kind of socks Rhubarb is wearing. Can you please zoom up? You got it, buddy. 264 for Blue Scuti. 324 for Rhubarb. Yeah, Blue Scuti on his alt is just blue_Scuti. If you want to see Scuti rolling. All right, long bar over Rhubarb. He's got a clean well on the left side. Scuti is 2 rows off the bottom. He's got a Tetris well, gets a Tetris 3-1-2. Tetris Rhubarb 373. And Scuti's still working 2 rows off the bottom. He's going to get to work on this, just kind of bringing this down. See what he does. No, he's going to try to... he looks like he's trying to build for another Tetris, and finally he's just going to give in and burn it down. I think he was aiming to get maybe another dirty Tetris or something like that, but the game just fed him too many weird pieces for him to be able to do it, so he just takes the burns, you know, take it on the chin and just have a good board instead of trying to get too crazy. 343 for Blue Scuti, 465 for Rhubarb. Tetris Rhubarb 534. We've just crossed the 100 line milestone. So just about 30 lines to go till that 19 transition. Or what in the past was just called the transition. Now we have multiple transitions. Rhubarb pacing a bit here. 579. He's going to get a Tetris 602 with still 14 lines to go till 19. Scuti gets a Tetris. He's past 500. But Rhubarb with almost 100,000 point lead. Rhubarb kind of building a little aggressively over there in column 8 and 9. It's going to cause him to create a gap. So he's going to have a gap to deal with. He approaches a 19 transition. Maybe he's going to try to go for a dirty here. He's going to try to get a Tetris into 19. He's going to take an awkward board as a result, I think. Just didn't quite get the pieces that he was looking for, but he does have a Tetris well into 19. Takes a skim and a quick Tetris, and there we go. 663 for Rhubarb, 601 for Scuti. When they have the same line count. So about a 35,000 point lead for Rhubarb. Cranky Hero says, well, there was transition at 19 and transition to kill screen. That no one ever said, all right, he's transitioning into kill screen, right? No, we didn't say that. We just, say, oh my God, kill screen is approaching, and then get very sad. 684 for Blue Scuti, 767 Rhubarb, but he's got a deep channel that's covered in the middle of his board, so this is kind of a tough formation for him. Let's see if he can get a bar. He's able to take that double to sort of uncover it, but so he is down stacking here. He was bar dependent on that right side, had to just kind of chuck something in there so he could have some burns. So this is allowing Scuti back in, and Scuti just now 3,000 points behind. Rhubarb's going to open that up and get a Tetris column 4, 1 row off the bottom. So Scuti has cut down this lead substantially. And just about the same line count, Scuti back by 7,000 points. Tetris Scuti 841. There's one Rhubarb 849. Same line count and an 8,000 point lead for Rhubarb. But Rhubarb's board a little more awkward right now, and Scuti's relatively clean. And long bar over Tetris Scuti 906. So Scuti with the lead. All right, Scuti in need of a tee. And there's the tee, there's the spin. Oh, nice placement to get ready for that tee and get Tetris ready for Scuti here on 26. 980 for Scuti, one Tetris away from the max out, which is defined as 999,999 points. Still called the max out, even in this uncapped era of Tetris. Still a good benchmark for a solid, a solid Tetris game. If you get a max out, you probably played pretty well even today. A52 for Scuti, A03 for Rhubarb. Trying to set up for one or two last Tetrises here before the 29 transition. Both players with the max. Getting a little droughted. Rhubarb with a skim and a Tetris, A45 into 29. Scuti with a Tetris gets it over. He's got the 1.1. Rhubarb had a Tetris well open, but ended up covering it. A57 for him. So just about 50,000 points behind his Rhubarb. Scuti's board getting a bit tricky here. Needs to uncover, and he's doing it. Rhubarb with a Tetris, meanwhile. Now Scuti is set up for one. Flinging pieces to the left, taking some skims here. And getting droughted with a high board. Long bar over Tetris for Scuti. Hangs a bar on the left, and that's going to do it for him. B57 top out. Target for Rhubarb, B58. Long bar goes into column 2 for him. Tetris gets over for Rhubarb, and he's going to take game number 2 to tie it up. GG's to Rhubarb and Scuti. All right, Rhubarb trying to boost his FMS, fair median score statistic. Just grinding out singles for a couple levels, no problem. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 between Blue Scuti and Vicious Rhubarb. 3-1 Tetris. And if you do want to support us on YouTube, you can become a member of the channel over there. And there's also super chats and stickers and all kinds of things that we definitely appreciate and frankly need the support really any way that you can get it to us. So thanks to those of you who are regular supporters of the channel. It helps a lot. All right, players starting off with all Tetrises. We'll see how long that lasts. And, well, I cursed it. Kind of an early shift there for Rhubarb, so the head shake. He's trying to load his rolling dice and just early shifted his rolling dice. All right, Colin is here quoting Tetris Fish. 159 for Scuti. He's going to take his first burn. There's a Tetris after that single. 124 for Rhubarb. Rhubarb setting up the Vits and converting it. End up having to take a couple of burns here anyway. And Scuti getting up a little bit high on the board. Nice double to open up that well and gets a Tetris 208. And another one for Scuti. 231 for him, 150 for Rhubarb. So about a 60,000 point difference when their lines are the same. Core line says nice Vits. He likes the Vits. All right, Tetris is for both. Still about that 60,000 point difference. Scuti and Rhubarb have met in the past. Maybe two notable meetings. I did mention the CTWC Regional in Kansas City in 2023. That was in the finals, and Scuti would go on to win that one. They also met in the Classic Tetris World Championship in 2024, where Scuti knocked Rhubarb out in the round of 32, or round one, I guess you'd call it. So maybe Rhubarb looking for a little revenge. They both got to the top 16 in Mega Masters 2024. And that was another meeting. Scuti knocking Rhubarb out. So maybe Rhubarb with a little chip on his shoulder. 421 for Scuti, 362 for Rhubarb. And both of these players actually founders or organizers of local regional Tetris tournaments. Rhubarb with, I think it was called the Mini D on the Screen tournament that just happened recently. And Scuti is co-organizing a tournament, I think along with Pumpy Heart, in Oklahoma next month. And I'm excited for that one because it's at a library. And I worked at a library all through high school, 4 years. I worked at the public library. So I kind of might want to go to that one. I don't know. There's something about playing Tetris in a library that sounds very appealing to me. $583 for Blue Scuti, $467 for Rhubarb. Ben Squirley says, it's a nice library. Does the age bracket concept also appeal to you? I don't know. I'm interested to see it tried. I tend to favor kind of just open championship and then a specialty championship of some sort, like a DAS tournament. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I know that there are, I don't know if it's all, they're all in the same tournament or if they're grouping people by age or what, but if it's just like the 45-year-old old person tournament, then yeah, I don't know. But Kafka's Cat asking if I've been to the Boston Public Library. Yes. We're into 19. Scuti are at 664, 564 Rhubarb, same line count. So just about 100 or maybe a 90,000 point lead. Oh, the age brackets are just for a special separate score attack. Got it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm considering going. I think the difficulty in running these, events in sort of a public space is like, how do you get the general public involved in some way such that they can meaningfully compete in something? Because all these pros, these sharks showing up to these events, like, Joe Sixpack or whoever has no shot. 672 for Rhubarb, 859 for Scuti. He's going to get a Tetris 888. I guess you just got to tell the general public, get good. Sorry. Tetris Blue Scuti 949, 707 for Rhubarb. He's going to get a Tetris. Yeah, so I don't know exactly how to cordon off something and say, well, you can't play in this unless you're like not good. You know, it's the not good tournament. Tetris Scuti, he's got the max out A42 on 25. Rhubarb way behind, about 210,000 points behind. B44 Blue Scuti, 843 for Rhubarb. And we're just about 20 lines away from the 29 transition. Long bar over Tetris Rhubarb 952. Blue Scuti with the C54 into 29. So a 1.25 for Scuti into 29. And he's going to get another Tetris. He's almost got the D here. And Rhubarb going to transition up very, very high here. Almost unsurvivable. And Rhubarb going to top out here in game number 3. Scuti, if you want to mullen it out. It's a pretty high transition. Feel free. And I don't know if Scuti's going to survive. We'll see if he can. I mean, this is so tough. And the answer is no, but Scuti's going to take game number 3 and go up 2-1. All right, both players are ready. Scuti up 2-1. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Sodium says, never say that again, Vandy. I think I need a, maybe I need a, like a, you know, there's like no tickling the controller voice. Maybe I need a, you know, no skibbity this stream. Oh, Rhubarb in trouble right off the bat. Gets a Tetris there, but has kind of a mess in the middle and on the right side. And this is just an odd looking board for Rhubarb. You don't see that board every day. But he's working on it. Still low. He can figure this out. Scuti with the gap in his stack as well that he's going to have to work on, which he does uncover that one finally. All right, Rhubarb gets a long bar down. He's just going to take the double and triples and just bring this board back down. You know, you kind of cringe at having to take so many triples and doubles early on, but it's all right. There's a lot of Tetris to be played, and Tetrises are worth much more later in the game. 104 Blue Scuti, 67,000 Rhubarb. Amata Kiri says, Candy, I just got a job at Amazon. I'ma have to get that Twitch Prime soon. All right, well, congrats on getting a job at Amazon. DJXYRD with the Prime sub. Thank you, DJX. All right, Rhubarb taking a few skims here, waiting out this bar. Square gets over, another skim, and there's a Tetris for both of them. 180 Scuti, 140 Rhubarb. And DJ X has finally jumped over here from YouTube to give you the Prime, and took me 5 minutes to 5 ore. Thank you very much, DJ X, for coming all the way from YouTube just to give us the Prime subscription. I really appreciate it. Rhubarb has got a spire in the middle of the stack. He's building around that. He's going to Tetris it down. So same line count and about a 60,000 point lead for Scuti. Scuti setting up kind of a T-tuck there. He's going to use a Z to spin it in, but he can't spin the Z in. And so that's going to delay him a little bit. And also want to thank a super chatter, Silent Asian 89, with the $10 super chat. Rhubarb with the dirty Tetris. Thank you, Silent Asian 89. Says for the win. Appreciate that. All right, Rhubarb still back by about 60,000. That's a little under 3 Tetrises on level 18. What level is the 800 line level? I forget. $235. Ay, ay, ay. So yeah, if you're over on YouTube, I mean, be like DJ X and come over here to Twitch. And if you got an Amazon Prime subscription, like on Amazon, you know, where you get stuff delivered to you for free, you also get a Twitch Prime subscription that you can apply to the Twitch streamer of your choice. And you get it, you know, it's as part of your Prime subscription. So come on over here and give it to us once in a while. It's use it or lose it. And I know, you know, whoever the streamer is you give it to is going to appreciate it. Rhubarb with a little snarl in the middle of the stack does have an open well here, though. He's going to end up having to cover that. Scuti set up for a Tetris. Use a long bar to fill in the line dependency column 1. Gets another one for the Tetris over 475 through 118 for Scuti. Rhubarb falling behind again. Needs to win this one to stay in the tournament. Kingsman 36 with the tier 1 sub. He's been subscribed for 46 months. Coming up on 4 years for Kingsman. We got a transition coming up into 19. 349 transition for Rhubarb and a 546 transition for Scuti. So about a 200,000 point lead for Scuti at transitions. Kingsman says, Vandy, if you had a choice of college football team to root for, would you pick the OSU Cowboys or the Minnesota Golden Gophers? Well, having lived in Madison, Wisconsin for 4 years and been kind of vaguely a Badgers fan during that time, I'm kind of biased, I think, against the Gophers. So I'd have to go with the OSU Cowboys, although I live in Texas, but I don't really care about Dallas too much. $479 Rhubarb, $675. I don't care. I honestly don't care about this whole Texas versus Oklahoma, whatever. 705 for Blue Scuti. 513 for Rhubarb. He's got a couple of rows over the well. Uncovers long bar over. It's going to take some of the pressure off of Rhubarb's stack here, but he is very far behind right now. Almost 200,000 points behind. Then again, you know, having a gopher as a mascot. Oh, that flip for Scuti. Did you see that spin tuck for Scuti? That's crazy. I don't even know what happened there. 833 for Scuti, 666 for Rhubarb. He's going to Tetris. But yeah, having a gopher as a mascot, I think shows a lot of confidence, you know? It's not everybody who can just pull that off and just feel confident. He's like, whatever, yeah, we'll be a gopher. It's okay. What do you got to say about it? Come at me, bro. I'm a gopher. Whatever. Tetris for Rhubarb, $7.95. $9.06 for Scuti. So Rhubarb starting to close the gap a little bit. 110,000 points behind now. That's true. How come Minnesota and Wisconsin are like badgers and gophers and other rodents? Scuti with the max out on 27. Rhubarb is into 28 at 876. Tetris into 29 for Rhubarb. And he needs to somehow both stay alive and score points. And this is a tough assignment here for Rhubarb. Scuti, A78, one Tetris to go. He's going to take the triple into 29 and take a nice safe board. He's got a lead. He's just not going to press his luck. Well, the young boy maturing here as a tournament player. Taking the safe strats into 29. B30 for Scuti, 966 for Rhubarb. Tetris Scuti, B69. And he's opened that lead back up to about 200,000 points again. Colin with the $10 contribution to the prize pool. Thank you, Colin. Tetris for Scuti, C83. That's a 1.283. And continuing to expand this lead, Scuti. Now it's over 300,000 points. And Rhubarb just trying to get this stack down so he can start to build for Tetrises. And this would be a tall order for Rhubarb, even if Scuti were to top out right now. Because we've just got 50 lines to go. And that's going to be a top out for Rhubarb. He's got the max out finally on level 34. And Scuti is good in game number 4. And we'll be moving on to the top 8. We can go ahead and mulling this out. He's got the 1.5. Just a Tetris and change away from the rollover. And he gets the rollover. Another Tetris Scuti. There's a Tetris from him. He's got the 1.7. So basically take this score right now and add 1.6 million to it. There's another Tetris Scuti. GG's to you, Vicious Rhubarb. It's tough drawing Scuti in round 1. He's got a 1.8. Another Tetris. He can get one more. And he's going to set up for more. He's setting up for 2. There's 1. And he's got a 1.9 million. So welcome to Club 1.9. Maybe again, Scuti. I think he's gotten a 1.9 before, but that was pretty good. And yeah, that was a huge post for Blue Scuti. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest classic Tetris community online at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.